Hi guys, welcome to my Flosstube. This is number 13. It is Friday the 22nd of January 2021. It is currently 8:30 in the evening, so we're back to our a la Flossmas in the dark. I'm doing this now because we are in 24 hours of cross stitch, the marathon weekend, and I am currently 3 hours and 49 minutes in. I literally, when I'm stitching, I'm counting. When I'm not stitching, I'm not. I even sometimes pause it if I'm changing a bobbin or rootling through my stuff to look for something. So, welcome. This is a channel. My channel is mostly about cross stitch. I do throw in a lot of other bits and pieces as well, and I talk a lot. I've had a little bump up in subscribers, so I assume somebody might have shouted me out. Not too sure who it is, but whoever did, thank you very much. Because I haven't had a little jump like that for ages, and it usually only happens when somebody mentions you. So anyway, first and foremost, the thing I need to say is bingo! Bingo, bingo, blackout! I did it. I finished it this afternoon. That's why I'm recording in the dark and not in the sunshine, and why I've already done 3 hours. I put in 3 hours this afternoon and finished off my last prompt, and I have full coverage fanatics bingo blackout. This represents this piece of scrappity paper, because I couldn't get the download to print properly. It kept printing sideways. Anyway, this piece of paper represents 27,000 stitches, which is, I know, utterly ridiculous. I know it's ridiculous, but I really want to do it. And the last time they had bingo, I was right back. I think it was Flosstube 2 or 3 of mine. It was right back in July when I was just starting to do Flosstube. I've just seen one of my pieces over there. I'm going to have to scramble over there in a minute. Absolutely typical. So I am thrilled to pieces, absolutely bits and pieces. And because I've written down, because I have a little diary this year, and so far I've kept it up. Usually I manage about a week of a diary, and it's not a diary. I'm just putting in the hours I'm working at work, my temperatures for my temperature piece there, and just what I'm working on. If it's a full coverage and it's in Pattern Keeper, I'll write down how many stitches I've done. If it's something else, I just write what it is I've done. So since I did my last, I'm going to jump in and do some cross stitch. I'm going to show you my full coverage bingo pieces, and then I'm going to come clean about all the stuff I've bought myself, but we'll get to that. Right, so I jumped straight back in after my last Flosstube and got right on. And I can only really show you because I can't remember which prompts I had and hadn't done. My bountiful bookshelf has seen the most action, and I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I did 5 prompts, and I think I took a forfeit on this one as well. So I think I've put 6,000 or 7,000 stitches into this since January. This is my bountiful bookshelf, which is an enormous piece, absolutely beautiful. It's an Amy Stewart Haid, and it's just beautiful. I like it because it's vintagey rather than like the other bookshelves are bright and colourful and eye-catching, and I'm doing one of those as well, which is the one over there on my scroll rods that I'm going to have to fetch. Yeah, here's where it got to. So I think I had done this prompt. I stitched over to here to do a comfy spot, which is the girl on the sofa. I think I did that one. So I did the wolf. So wolf or a dog. Back into Aesop's Fables here. Sorry, this is just enormous. This is my second largest piece that I'm doing. And I tried to finish the wolf, but you can see there's gaps in him. I was still missing 3 or 4 colours, and there my haul began. So I did finish him off. I finished off a few stitches along here just to finish off the 1,000 stitches in this piece, but mostly I worked on the wolf and the wolfy doggy thing. Then I came down here. Yes, there is a huge splosh of coffee here. I don't care. It's going to get full coverage over it. It's never going to show. I've got worse on my treasure hunt bookshelf. I'll show you. I don't even know what that is on that one. Anyway, I came down here to do something that flies, and this is the Snow Queen. So I came along, I did this piece to count. I count my way to things, even though I'm using even though I've gridding my fabric as I go. It's not pre-gridded. I'm doing it with my dear old pen, which is still going strong considering I've been using it for a year. And the grey and blue stitches here is a horse, and this reddy colour is its bridle. And as you can sort of see, it's sort of leaping. It's in the air, the sleigh is here, and that is off the ground. So I said something that flies into the Snow Queen. And then I got myself a bit stuck because there was, one of the prompts was 2 of something. Now on the treasure hunt bookshelf right at the bottom there's a set of doors with an Aladdin's lamp right in front of it, and then either side there is a red candle, a pink candle and a red candle, and I thought, well, there's 2 candles, I'll do those. Trying to find these 2 bloody candles. I gave up. So I decided 2 of something on Peter Pan here, and you can actually see it's starting to spell out. Peter's starting to show up here. There's the P there, and there's the E. You can sort of see the Peter. There's 2 birds, and they're kind of mirror imagey of each other. So I sort of said to myself, well, there's 2 birds there. That's definitely 2 of something. So I decided to stitch all round them. I haven't actually stitched any of the birds, but I've stitched round the 2 birds. 2 of something. 1,000 stitches there. So many stitches. And that was 550, 823, which is that very, very dark navy blue. 550 is the most wonderful. It's purple. It's this colour. And a very, very dark pink, and like a very, very dark muted pink and some sort of brown. So that's what went in there. So there's my bountiful bookshelf. So we start over here and through past Aesop's Fables. There's Peter Pan, some spines of books, and then there's the Land of the Lost Toys, and then I've just started down on the next level with the Snow Queen there. So with all the stitches I've put in there, that got counted as my book. The other full coverage fanatics thing this year is they give you 3 books each month and you do the number of pages. Where is my sheet? Hang on. That's not the sheet, that is July's sheet. I did have it. Pooh. Anyway, the biggest of the books, whichever book's the biggest of the books, this is the piece that I've done more than enough stitches to cover the biggest of the books. Okay, so bountiful bookshelf, did loads there. So I also finished off my last few stitches to put in a total of 4,000 stitches in my mini snow job, and I think I did do some. I might have finished the stitches before last Flosstube, but it was definitely on that day I finished them, so I think it was before my Flosstube. So there's my mini snow job, which will look like this. This was a new start for the bingo. So there's that one. And next thing I did that day, sorry I just poked myself in the ear, I had a bit of a prolific day. This was last Saturday. I put in 1,000 red stitches, 1,084 red stitches. Let me check I've got it the right way round, on my shooting star. There we go, and that's basically almost every red stitch on it. So my full border is there now. So before, it didn't have any of this. These were barely started, and this border here wasn't done. So there is 1,000 stitches on red, and you can now see the size it's going to be, and you can see how much I've done. So there we go. Absolutely love this. Carolyn Manning Designs. This is her original shooting star. I lean very heavily towards a clear rainbow, so that's the one I picked to do first. I have bought several since and seen some beautiful ones as well, which I am trying not to buy. Okay, and then that day as well, it was a prolific day. It was a 3,000 stitch day last Saturday. I just basically sat on my bed all day. This isn't 2 or 3 hours. We're talking a marathon weekend every weekend. And this is I bought this one on Etsy. This is one I started stupidly on what I thought was 25 count, turned out to be 28 count, and I was doing it over one, and it looked hideous, in my opinion, because I like to see, well, I won't be able to see what I'm doing. So this is called Landscape number 73. It's from 2x2 cross stitch on Etsy, and it'll be a circle about the size of a dinner plate, I think, and I put in 1,044 stitches on this. This was my stitcher's choice because I absolutely love it. I love it because it's a nice, almost Japanesey kind of look about it, and it's the teals, the blues, and those lovely dusky pinks that I absolutely love. So put in a few stitches on that. I'm looking at these now going, oh, I'd love to stitch on them again, but I am done. I am so done with full coverage for until February when we start the bookshelf challenge again. And I might do a couple of legs of Iceland on my Better to See You With, because even though I've only done the one little go on that, the first 1,000 stitches on that, I'm starting to itch to want to put a few more stitches in. Plus I've got all the colours for it now. I got those last lot of stuff that came. I was only a few short. So on the Sunday I went back to the Bountiful bookshelf and did 1,400 stitches on the Sunday. So on the Saturday I did 3,000 stitches, and the Sunday I did half as much. It just depends what's going on. Now on the Sunday I listed thread drops on Etsy. Wow, you guys, you are amazing. We sold, honestly, Robin is absolutely over the moon, and I can't, he'll watch this so he'll see, but he's at a loose end. He's not well enough to work, and he's not ill enough to be on any kind of disability benefit. So he's falling through the cracks, and he feels, even though he's at home looking after the kids while I work, well, kind of furloughed at the moment, but usually I'm working 6 days plus. So, you know, my stitching at the moment is exceptional. Don't think I do this all the time, because I don't. He's been at a bit of a loose end, and now he's planning engines, and he's got 2 things on hold for when they've been taken off eBay, and when the pandemic is, when our lockdown is lifted, whenever that is. We're now thinking possibly Easter. He'll be able to get, they're set aside for him, and he'll be able to go and collect them, and he has the money for an engine and a half. So thank you so much to everybody who bought things from us and thread drops, and the people who ordered the really big ones. They're in the bag there, they are done, they're ready. I'll be posting them, possibly be Monday now, because I'm not really planning to go out again this week, over the weekend. We've got everything we need in the house, so I'm not planning to go out, but possibly Monday. Anybody who did order the big jobs from me, they'll be in the post on Monday. Yeah, and other things too. I sold a couple of bags, and I sold some needle minders, so thank you so much. Honestly, that support is absolutely lovely. It's just lovely, and I hope the people who are buying things to support us also get lovely things. You know, it's not like you're buying a piece of poo. It's something nice, I hope, for you as well. On to Monday, back to work. I've worked at my original job 9 till 1 every day but Thursday this week, so I've been busy, and I've been quite busy, and I'm quite mucky painty. This is from the paint. I got a new paintbrush, and actually the chemicals I use at work melts the paint off the paintbrush handle, and then that sticks to my hands. So it's not paint on my hands, it's paintbrush. Anyway, beside the point. Right, Monday I did more Bountiful bookshelf to finish the prompt that I was on, and I started on the treasure hunt bookshelf, which I'll grab in a minute, and then the next day I did treasure hunt bookshelf as well, and also pulled out, I think this went down as nearest to finish. Yes, the nearest being finished. Now it's a toss-up for nearest being finished between Fragile and Shipping Trees, but because I'd already got this down for another prompt, Fragile down for another prompt, I put down Shipping Trees because this is pretty close. So with 1,000 stitches on it, it looks like this. So what I did was I started, I get it across my arm, I started at the top. I hadn't done any of this bit here. I started at the top and I've just come down, and I came to a sliding stop last night. I had to fight to find stitches I could put in because, where's my bag? Oh, everything's where you can see it until you need to show things. I literally just took this out of its bag, and the bag's my big bag, and I don't know why I can't see it. I don't know why I can't see it, and it's taking far too long for me to be looking around for it. Right, sack that. I was scrabbling around because I'm almost out of 2 of the colours. Obviously, as you can see, this is 5 shades of turquoise, and my 995 actually looks quite good. It really is quite very, and there's about 4 blends in it as well. My 3853 and my 995 were basically gone, and everything I needed, I'm still looking for that bag, everything I needed was one of those 2 colours, and it drove me batty. So I struggled on, mostly doing stitches in 996, which I did have half a skein of. I can't find it, I must stop. So I struggled on and got my 1,000 stitches. So in total my Shipping Trees got 1,028 on there. And then, other than my treasure hunt bookshelf, which I'll get in just a second, last night and today, I have battled and put my last 1,000 stitches into Fragile. This is the Story Keep, Kirsten Mills. It's beautiful and I love it, but it is 40 shades of pink, and I find it so hard, partly because I'm using a paper pattern, and the paper pattern is actually not a great deal bigger than the actual piece here, and this is 18 count Ada. They're microscopic. I'm marking it with my dinky pen, but it's so hard because I'm just really struggling with it. But I am determined. My extra 1,000 stitches, I started at the bottom and worked up. That's what I did last time, but now it's complete bar just a few stitches to about here now, and then there's some big sections left white here, but they're mostly all the same symbol. But it's pure confetti. The whole thing is confetti basically, but I will get there and it will be done, and when it's done it will be framed and it will sit somewhere where we can see it, because it has to be seen when it's done. It's so beautiful. So I'm just going to get my treasure hunt bookshelf. Give me 1 second. It's just over here. Ooh, whoa. Okay. I have got Christmas jammies on. Right. So my treasure hunt bookshelf. Let me undo the rods. This was the one I had to put back on the scroll rods because I'd used cyclist tub tape to stick it on, which when I took it off was brilliant. It was you know, it had lost its stick one side, but the other side was still monumentally sticky. It came off clean without leaving a mark. So I did a bit of a botch job because I couldn't be bothered getting the staple gun out, and this is oak. I didn't want to be stapling into it because it would just be a nightmare. So look at my botch job. I stitched it on, literally just stitched it on, and that's two long pieces of micropore, which is like the surgical tape, sticking it down just to keep it smooth, but it's worked. So what I had done was that bit. That's all I'd done, and I now have a hummingbird. that is, what I did was I marked a square of just 950 stitches I marked a square of, and I thought, right, I'm going to fill this square in, and there's going to be a hummingbird in there for a bird, and I really love him. He's clearly a little birdie. It's not the supersized or the max colour, so yes, he's pixelated, but when he's on the wall with 100 other bits and pieces on him, he's going to look beautiful. So that's the last bit I did. And then for the rest of it, I think I put on 2 other prompts. Yes, I think I've done 3,000 stitches in total on this, which again is one of the books. It's more than enough for, I think it was The Great Gatsby, it's more than enough for. And I came to here, oh, and I put the wrong colour in. I picked up something like 335 and I needed 355, and I just read the number wrong, and because on Pattern Keeper on my phone the little square with the colour is really small, it's like a little rectangle you get, and it's really, really tiny, and I could see it was a kind of tannish brownish pink, and I had a kind of pinkish brown in my hand. So off I went, and I went right the way across here and started down there, and then I looked at it and I thought, that's the wrong colour, and sure enough I had just picked up the wrong number, which, you know, miraculously I had both numbers. My DMC has swelled dramatically this week. Get to that in a minute. So I picked out, really cross. It wasn't cross, it was just such a waste of my time, and I was so stupid. Why didn't I check? So when I got the right colour, I've now put 2 colours in here, so it's actually more stitches. I came across, I counted down, so this is the corner where there's like a sheet of paper with some kind of, I don't know what it says yet because I can't remember. And then I came this way and I was counting towards the doors. So I went along, and then that circle, you can sort of see it's a circle there. All those browns and reds are in the doors. So there's my doors prompt, and then I put some yellows into the lamp. Again, I was missing loads and loads I was missing, and look at this. Look where a cup of coffee has dribbled. Is it only 2 spots? Yeah, it's dribbled and dribbled through, and then there's something here. This is a mark. That is not stitching, that's a mark. So my next job, when this comes out next time, I don't know what it is. It is brown. I don't know what it is. That is going to get stitched over because I don't know what it is. I'm not going to attempt to take it out of the fabric. The fabric's full coveraging. It's not going to matter. So that's that. There we go. So that's my treasure hunt bookshelf, which got 3,000 and something, I think. I don't think it was 4. I think it was only 3. That I put into that, so I'm really pleased with that, and I'm happy to set that aside into the abyss. And there we go. So other than my full coverage, get rid of that now, that's just going to settle itself over there. Other than my full coverage, the only thing I think I've put stitches in on is my bookshelf. I'm not 100% sure if I've done all these books before, but here's my books with the, I think I finished off the week. I've got another, well, I can nearly finish the month. I think I can come to about here on the month now, so I'm going to probably use an hour or 2 of my 24 hours to just catch myself up on my bookshelf here, and I think I've put a bit more of this book, the next shelf, down on. I'll just do that every now and again just to keep myself up, and then every now and again I'll put a strand up here as well to finish off the edge of my bookshelf. So I'm really enjoying my bookshelf. My threads are here. Now this one, there is a twin. There is the twin. They were cut from the same, yeah, can you see the bark matches up? So that is the twin thing for this one. There's the twin thing. That one's going into Etsy. I've got more he has made a pile of ash ones, which I'll do now. Right, giveaway. That's this week's giveaway. So my little piece of fabric, my singy, burnty, oh dear, I made a terrible mistake with it, fabric. 10 people mentioned the word fabric in, it's really warm in here, my cheeks have gone quite rosy. 10 people mentioned the fabric. My little oopsie, I incinerated it in the microwave, and I did the random number generator, and Mrs. Bat Stitch Crazy, I have your address. I will post this on to you because you got Nantucket Rose. So Bat Stitch Crazy, I'll put your name along here, but if you're stitching, you've won, and it'll arrive in the post at some point sometime soon. This piece of singy fabric will be on its way to you. Lovely. Everybody who dibbed in for it, I know, if you know what I mean. I don't know you, but I know you. Speaking of people I know but don't know, one of my ladies on my Facebook group has done a floss tube. So well done to you, absolutely brilliant. I did watch it, it was really good. First ones are bloody awful. I still feel weird doing it, and I did bloody Flossmas. She's from the UK, she's got some lovely pieces on the go, and she is called Witch Stitch, I think, or I might be wrong. It might be Witchcraft. It might be Witchcraft. I am going to put her name along the screen here because I've just got it wrong. I am reasonably confident I've just got it wrong, and I'll link her down below as well. So go and give her some support, especially because she didn't want to put a link in the Facebook group in case I would be grumpy, and I'm not going to be grumpy. If anybody is in my Facebook group who is a floss tuber, and I know Darren is, but anybody else who I don't know you do floss, please put a link, tell me you're a floss tuber, and then I can go and watch you, and we can all subscribe to each other, and then we can all watch each other, which would be absolutely lovely. So this week's giveaway, see, I immediately jumped, it's only because it's right here, is this ash thread drop. It has 30 holes, so quite a good sampler one possibly. Now this one is a giveaway because it's got a little split just there. It has a little tiny split there, you can just about see it. It's absolutely lovely, it's beautiful, and it is a lovely pale smooth piece of ash with 30 holes. So if you'd like this little tiny split and all, honestly this will have no impact whatsoever on the thread that will be hanging from it. If you'd like this, just leave me a comment. I quite like it when I can just dip out of anybody's, you know, I can say, right, I've got this many comments and I choose from all of them. So I'm not going to ask you to say anything particular, just leave me a comment if you'd like to be entered in the draw to get a thread drop. And if you don't want a thread drop, don't leave me a comment, then I won't put you in. So 30 hole ash thread drop. Next week I'll draw for this because I'm doing my best. It's Friday, so last week I did Saturday, so this week I've done Friday. Next week I'm going to try and do Thursday, and then I'm going to try and bring it forward to the Wednesday in a few weeks. So I'm going to try and bring it forward to the Wednesday so that I'm a Wednesday floss tuber. Right, haul. I have been a victim of haul, partly because I didn't have some DMC. Some of the numbers I needed I didn't have, and I'm like, oh, for goodness sakes, how am I missing 5 numbers? So I went on to Arts and Design, which is a lovely website, and they are very nearby to me, but they're not a brick and mortar shop. I can't go in and see them. Obviously I couldn't go and see them anyway at the moment. 1, because I'm not allowed to cross the border. 2, because we're not allowed to leave our area. 3, because we're locked down. And 4, because all shops that aren't necessary are either click and collect or closed. But they're internet only anyway. And if you're in the UK and you're looking for an unusual pattern, a pattern that you think, oh, I'm going to have to order that from 123 Stitch, check them out first, because they have everything. They have bendy stitchy patterns, they have Lindy Stitches patterns, they have everything. They have some Heaven and Earths, which are paper patterns, they have paper pattern long dog patterns, they have all sorts of things, loads of mirabilias, loads of things like that. Check them out, they're brilliant, and they post the same day, so you get it next day if you're in the UK, which is extremely valuable to me at the moment, being stuck with no access to DMC when I just need one colour, except I needed 3 or 4. So I was on their website, I put the DMCs I needed in my basket, and then I started looking at the patterns. So there is, I did a little video when I opened the packet. Everyone in my house thinks I am absolutely insane. I got home from work and I was like, oh, my bag's here, I'm just going to film it, and I ran upstairs and shut my door. So they all think I'm mental. I'm going to insert the video here so that I don't double up on the haul, and then I'll show you my fabrics. Hi guys, it's haul day. I got home after being out. I've done the full family food shop for my family of 6 and my parents as well. And get rid of that. That's better. And I got home to not 1, but 2 parcels. This one's come from Russia. Right. That one rattles. Okay. So if you order from mybobbin.com, what you get is a rather beautiful, oh, it's got lavender. It's a lovely piece of paper. It's beautifully sealed up with double-sided tape, so there's no tape or anything visible. So they do really lovely packaging for a very big company there. They do lovely packaging. And in here should be, I'll keep that, there it is, the winter, it's it's the winter globe. Now one of my ladies, oh, it's on 16 count, I'm going to use the full kit, there we go, had got the one with the three globes all together, and I really liked this one. I just loved the way that it catches, so I ordered this from mybobbin.com, and it's taken not a great deal of time to get here. I'm really quite pleased with that. Absolutely lovely. So there's that kit. I will probably be starting that quite soon, and a lovely piece of brown paper. And then my other one I ordered day before yesterday. Now, Arts and Signs are a little online place. It was actually the first online place I found, and they refunded me postage. They charged me £3.85, which is first class packet, a first class small packet, and I got a lovely email from them saying, when I saw it, it said refund, and I thought, oh, something's not in stock, because they're really good with their stock. I thought, oh, something's gone out of stock, so they're refunding me something. And it said, hello Emily, we've managed to fit your order into a large letter, which is under 1 inch. If it's under 1 inch thick and UK A4 size, it goes through the slot in the post office, it goes as a large letter, which makes the post an awful lot less money. So they refunded me it. They didn't have to. So I've got a piece of, just double checking, piece of packing there, just to pack it out. Now, what have I got? First and foremost, oh, it looks like I have got a free pattern. They've sent me a pattern. I did spend £60, but they've sent me a a blue rose pattern. I rather like that. Ooh. Okay. I bought some haul. Just give me 2 seconds. So, while I was busy doing something, on the Bountiful bookshelf, I was doing the dog, and I found 2 colours that I didn't have. So I went through Bountiful bookshelf and I've just ordered the last few DMCs. That's what I needed. So that I've got all the DMCs for Bountiful bookshelf. That's all I was missing. So that's what I needed. And here's what I bought. I bought my first Fancy Ladies. I bought a Fancy Lady, and I have bought Nora Corbett, and it is Gardenia. I love all of these little flower fairy ladies. I just liked her because she wasn't too fluty and she wasn't too fussy. She's Gardenia, and I think she's lovely. And I also bought, because they had it and they had it in stock, and she's holding quite a big treasure. She's holding this treasure, which is rather pretty actually. I bought the beads pack as well for her. So she'll be going on some of my 32 count, and I've got the beads pack. And I'm not going to change too much about her. The only thing I'm planning on changing is, instead of using a very, very dark grey, it was gunmetal, I think. Sorry, I'm covered. I've got paint down the sides of my nails. I was printing today. Instead of using the dark grey to outline everything, I got emerald. That's showing really well. And I also got, instead, they didn't have what the other colour that was meant to be on it. Krynic. Oh, I'm not sure. 928494 was meant to be periwinkle, I think, and I went with a lilac sparkle. Just so I got 2 Krynics. I've got Gardenia, and I've got the beads pack for Gardenia. Then I got a mermaid, and I have got the letter mermaid. I've bought the E because it's for me. I'm going to be changing this up quite a bit. The E, which is currently a kind of a limey green colour, will be a periwinkle blue, and my mermaid, who is currently very pretty in corals and yellows, is going to be purple. She's going to be purple. So I'm going to change that up a little bit, and I'm very happy with her. My letter E mermaid. Very pleased. And then I got two patterns, and they're Jardin Privé patterns. And I have a thing for Little Red Riding Hood. I don't know why. I don't know why I have a thing for Little Red Riding Hood. I'm not fairy tale-y. I'm definitely not Disney. But I really love Little Red Riding Hood, and I love the snow globe. And the wolf is sitting on top of the snow globe. Oh, I love her. I think she's glorious. And just because I had this one on my wish list too, and if I had that one I would want to do this one, and I'd be sad if I couldn't have them both, I got the Alice as well. And that's my haul. And we've got 24 hours of cross stitch coming up, so yeah, I've got 1, 2, possibly as many as 5 new starts coming up for my 24 hours cross stitch. That's my haul, guys. Yeah, so I went a bit nutty, and I've got a haul, and I've got another pile of DMC, probably, I think it was about £12 coming to, which should arrive tomorrow, which are all the DMCs I need, especially for this little lady here, Gardenia. Gardenia? Yes, Gardenia. Because turns out I've only got 3 of the DMCs I need. isn't it just always the way? She is divine. I absolutely loved her. I love all of these. On the back of this pack of thingies, oh, if I can get them, look, there's a whole line of them. I particularly like the Bluebell. Particularly like Bluebell. There's a couple. I think I'm just going to set 2, and when I finish one I'm just going to get another pattern and do another one, because they're little. And I love these. I love the pack. And this was sold to me, I might have said in the video, I'm probably doubling up, by the thingy she's holding. It's like a frosted lily thing, and she's holding it. Oh, it's so beautiful. Anyway, I have started her. I had to get my fragile out of the way to get my bingo, but then I started her. So my doesn't quite fit in the Q snap, but I'm persisting. Right, so the fabric I picked was a piece of my 32 count Laguna that I got from Casa Sanina, and I had the idea that I wanted it on a plain fabric. You can see it's not a plain fabric. And then I thought, well, what if it was light in the middle and then got darker towards the outside? So what I did was I got an IKEA dish, wet my fabric, I flopped it over and scrunched up around the edges, and then put the dye on around the edges, and I used a dark green, and this is what I've got. What do you think? Honestly, I did this last night, got up this morning, remembered they were on the radiators, went tearing downstairs to look at my fabric, thrilled to pieces, and there's my start. There's the start. That's the top. One of the only colours I have. One of the only colours I have is this inside skirt, which is a pale yellow. So there it is. There's my little start with a pale yellow of the inside skirt. Now this stitching here, what I did was I've just kind of roughed out where it was going to be, so I could be kind of careful where I put the dye, and then it just ended up all over the place. So that's a head. The top twizzle comes here, and then the wings come down, and then there's a twizzle that comes out there, and then her skirt comes right down there. So I am really pleased with this piece of fabric. So that was just it was green to start with. All I did was add the dark green motley, and what I actually did, because it was one of the powder Dylon dyes, I did a click and collect at Dunelm. I didn't use hot enough water, and the dye didn't completely dissolve, so it's kind of speckly. You can see that's where it was sitting over the pot, and it's kind of run, but you can see it's sort of speckled where the dye, the blue and the yellow in the dye, has kind of done its thing. So weird and so pretty. I really like dyeing fabric. I like the instant it's changed. It's amazing. So the other piece I dyed, I don't know where it was then, was for my E-mermaid. Now my E-mermaid, I'm going to do the E in slightly brighter turquoises and like the blue, really not royal blue, but one of those purpley blues, but not a dark purpley blue. There's a 900 and something that is perfect. I can't dredge around in my DMC box because my tripod is wedged up across it at the moment to keep it steady, because my cutting board's downstairs, and my mermaid is going to be purple. So that's that. So I picked out a piece of it's 35 count, and I think it was limestoney colour. It's not limestoney anymore. Now it looks like this. What do you think? Hey, I like this very much. This has got quite a bright blue, like a turquoisey blue on it, and then without rinsing it off, I then put the green, the dark green. I tipped some of it away and put boiling water on it to dissolve it completely, because I realised after I'd put the dye on this it wasn't dissolved properly. put boiling water on it, dissolved the dye, and then tipped the turquoise into the green so that it wasn't a dark green, it was a blue green. I mix colours all day at work, so I thought, well, I know what colour it's if I put this turquoise into this green, I know loosely what colour it's going to be, because I probably mixed a paint like that this morning. And I spooned that over the top, and I only let it sit because I wanted it to be pale. I didn't want it to be bang, that's strong, the fabric's overriding the stitching, which I kind of hope this isn't going to do, because she's such a neat shape. I really hope it's not going to get lost. We'll find out. Oh, and if any of these colours, back to her, if any of these colours here are too much like the fabric, I'll just pick something a little bit darker, just in case when I get them and I floss toss them, because I don't have those colours. When the colours come tomorrow, when I drop them on here, if they look far too similar to the colour of the fabric, I will shuffle them. I'll change them up for something a little darker. And then they're just DMCs in my box for later, aren't they? Yeah, so I didn't let it sit for very long, and I rinsed it out quick. And I'm so happy because it's subtle, and my mermaid's going on there. Oh. And that looks like it's 11 by 11 inches, so I'm going to have to do something. It fits my Q-snap exactly. So I'm going to have to put a bit of fabric on the edges of that so I can clamp it in, because I much prefer the stitches on the... And I'm just going to use beads. I've got beads everywhere. I've got packets of seed beads, some of them Mill Hills, some of them things I got from eBay. When we did Maddie's prom dress, which was basically like a seafoam green colour, we bought tons of beads because she beaded up. She sort of beaded the side a little bit, which was really pretty. And much as I wanted to do it, I let her do it. And then there's these two guys, my Alice snow globe and my Little Red Riding Hood snow globe. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change my wolf from brown to grey, because in my mind's eye the wolf's grey, so I'm going to change him to grey. I'm not going to change anything on Alice, she's fabulous. And I've just got two pieces exactly the same. I've just zigzagged around the edge last night of my 32 count Laguna, and these are this colour. It's one of the colours. Oh, I hope I've left a big enough piece. I have left a big enough piece for my new world. If I haven't, I'll just have to get another piece for the new world. Yeah. And so I've got another little order coming from Arts and Designs tomorrow, hopefully in the post. And then ordered overnight 200 new bobbins from Amazon, because I had run out of bobbins. So I now have about 180 in there, because I've been bobbinating, because I had a little pile of things that needed bobbinating. And in my Tesco's biscuit tin, which I can probably just take the biscuit tin label off. It's got a sponge of butter on it as well. It was in the kitchen for a while. There we go. Now it's not a Tesco's biscuit tin. Now it is a pretty tin. In this tin, unseasonably, I've got all the spare floss for my Hawk Run Hollow. So all the... And I've got quite a few DMCs because I doubled up, because I'm silly and I check the boxes, but I had them in several different places, and I have doubled up on 4 or 5, but it's a very big piece, and I might use nearly a whole skein over, you know, over the whole piece. Like the pumpkin colours, I'll probably use a whole skein on those. So that's in my tin there. Other than that, the only other thing I've got to show you is the only other thing I've been busy at. I have been making needle minders. These are stamps on the wood. They have been cut, they have been sanded by me in the freezing cold shed. The metal plates on the, we've got like a vertical disc sander with a belt sander on the side of it. So I do the sides on the vertical sanding disc, and then I take all the chamfers off the corners, and then on the belt, and then I make sure the back's nice and smooth as well. That one's a really nice one. That's a wasp. Isn't he lovely? So as you can see, there's a hawk. I've got all sorts in here. I've got a building. I have a beautiful purpley Christmas one. I've got a castle, Carnarvon Castle. Anyway, these are waiting for resin. They need resining, so I've got a big job to do. I've now got two. These are my die pots, which are non-food, so now they're full of needle minders. So I need to sit and have a massive session where I put resin on these guys. I'll resin the tops in, and then look at him. Look at that doggy. Isn't he happy? Hey. Hopeless. So I've got lots of those to get on with, and then I've got loads of magnets. I think I'm on a subscribe and save with Amazon for magnets. Every month they drop me boxes of magnets, so I've got a good stash of magnets. I just need to get on with it, and then I've got to go through the process of listing them. So sooner or later more things will turn up. I've been cutting out more bags. I've been trying to do productive things as well as crazy stitching. Crazy stitching, but my full covering stitching is done until February, when I'll start the bookshelf challenge, and it's Outlander next month, which is 8,000 stitches. So I'm looking at Bountiful Bookshelf thinking, yes, you're getting a lot more stitches in you, because I am loving that piece. And I think I'm only 3%. Put all those stitches in it, and I think I'm at about 3%. Yeah, but I might do a little bit more on the Better to See You With. Anyway, guys, if I'm going to do one a week, I need to not be on for 6 days. I am going to get on with my 24 hours of cross stitch. I imagine I'm going to get probably another couple of hours in tonight, and then get up in the morning and I will stitch hopefully pretty much all day. I have got some painting work to do. It's just thistles and daffodils, which are pretty straightforward. If I remember, I will take little pictures of them to show you. I've got racks and racks of thistles and just one rack of daffodils to do. Rack's got 20 in, so it's 20 all the same. So I've got quite a lot of thistles and some daffodils to do, which I'll also get done over the weekend, because I get actually paid real money to do them. It's not very much real money, but it's certainly going to make up an extra day's pay for me, which is really lovely to get an extra day's pay for sitting at home. Yeah, I think that's me about done. I will see you next week, and I'll have something not so full coveraging to show you. Hopefully a start on, I've forgotten to show you what else came in the... No, I have shown you, because I showed you my haul video. The other snow globe, the black snow globe, I am starting that in the daylight, either tomorrow or on Sunday. I love that. So pretty. So I'll be starting that as well. I just thought, oh, I haven't shown you, but I've put in the haul video. So other than that, drop me a comment if you want to be putting a dib to win this next week. This is Bat Stitch Crazy. This will be in the post to you. And thank you so much for watching, and thank you to new people who have subscribed. I am always super happy to have new people. I don't post as much on Instagram as I maybe should. I've certainly not posted any of my full coverage stitching while I've been doing the bingo. But if you're new and you use Facebook and use the cross stitch groups on Facebook, we have a cross stitch group, and I like to see other people stitching. And to everybody who's already a member of my group on Facebook, put some pictures up, show me what you're doing, because I totally love seeing. Some of you have got some beautiful pieces on the go, and your stitching's absolutely gorgeous. Right, I will catch you all later, and well, I'll see you next week. Bye bye for now. Bye bye. So this was taken a few weeks ago when we had that little tiny bit of snow and it was really, really frosty. I thought you might like to see my dogs that you can always hear barking, because I've not actually shown you them before. So we've got Big Clay, who is a Hungarian Vizsla, and Little Jock, who is an English Cocker Spaniel. You're treading in all of them? Yeah. There's Jock. Here's Clay. And my big dog. Hey big dog, sit! Clay! What you doing? What you doing? He's such an old boy. Jock's tied me up, Flora, can you be aware? That's a little barky noise you hear. And this is where we've walked up to. We've come a mile from home. That path leads up to a quarry where there are peregrine falcons. And this is us. This is our bit of nothing. Sun shining over there. That's west towards Newcastle, and then Hadrian's walls are over there, and then this way is into the hills, and now we're looking east, and Scotland's not too far that way. And there's Flora with my big dog Clay and my wee dog Jock. Here we are. Our snow, pathetic as it was, has mostly melted, even off the tops. You can see the cloud base today is quite low. And we're going to head home, aren't we?
What?
Going home? Yeah.